Welcome to The Explainer. Imagine, if you will, a hidden battlefield, a mysterious, highly dramatic global race unfolding right this very second. And it's not happening up in the stars. No, it's happening deep, deep inside human biology. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a quiet but absolutely fierce scientific revolution, one that's moving at unprecedented speed, literally rewriting the very rules of human existence. So ask yourself, what if the greatest race in human history isn't actually in outer space, but inside your cells? It's a total cliffhanger, and we're literally living through it today. You see, while much of the Western world is still kind of locked in these philosophical debates about whether aging should even be classified as a disease, well, one nation has already rolled up its sleeves. They're actively hacking the code of life as we speak. Their overarching state-level mission, it's honestly staggering. We're talking about a total transition from the reactive medicine we've all just kind of accepted, waiting to get sick and then taking a pill, to proactively reprogramming the genetic code of aging itself. They are treating the human body as if it were a super complex piece of software. The ultimate goal here is to optimize our health span and debug human biology line by line before the system ever even crashes. Just look at this headline for a moment from South China Morning Post. This is the news behind today's video. Targeting $610 billion longevity market, biotech firms race to reverse aging. AI is transforming longevity as companies like Metis TechBio and Human Longevity use algorithms to combat aging and predict health risks. With that said, let's go straight to the intro. The algorithm buries channels that show the truth like mine every single day. The only thing that fights back is you. One like, one subscribe, turn on the bell icon. That's how the truth about China survives on YouTube. Don't let it disappear. Thank you very much. Now, you might be wondering, why the sudden intense urgency for all this? Well, it all comes down to one massive, undeniable number: 260 million. By the year 2030, an estimated 260 million people in China will be over the age of 65. That is a profound demographic shift. But instead of viewing this solely as some looming crisis, it's being utilized as an incredibly powerful strategic catalyst. They're taking that demographic pressure and turning it into a golden opportunity for absolute global leadership in biotechnology. Let's dive into Section 1, the SpaceX of pharma. To really wrap your head around the impact of this algorithmic renaissance, you just have to look at a company called Metis TechBio, and honestly, the global market's reaction to them. Back in May of 2026, Metis made its debut on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and it was an absolute frenzy. Their public tranche was oversubscribed by a mind-boggling 6,900 times. Investors locked up over 730 billion Hong Kong dollars. That wasn't just a successful IPO. It was a massive, undeniable declaration of global confidence in an AI-powered biological future. And all that money? It's funding the creation of what they call nanorockets. These are microscopic, AI-designed delivery vehicles. Picture this: they navigate the inner space of the human bloodstream with the precision of a laser-guided missile, delivering therapeutic payloads directly to disease cells. Getting the medicine exactly where it needs to go without leaving a single scratch on the healthy rest of the body is known in the industry as the delivery layer bottleneck. And solving this bottleneck, that's widely considered the holy grail of modern medicine. Now, according to Metis' data, they've mapped out this precision delivery across what is known as the NanoForge 8. Consider just the very first target, the heart. They achieve near 100% transfection efficiency, which basically means the medicine successfully penetrates the cell wall right inside the myocardium, the actual heart muscle itself. The heart is notoriously difficult to target, but their algorithms absolutely crack the code. Oh, and they're also successfully targeting the central nervous system, tumors, and even the spleen to reverse age-related immune decline. It's wild stuff. And the sheer speed of this technological leap? completely unprecedented. Using their AI platforms, they've slashed preclinical development timelines. What traditionally takes the pharmaceutical industry 1 to 2 agonizing years of formulation now takes less than 3 months. Because of this blazing speed, their drug candidate, MTS-004, actually became China's first AI-enabled formulation drug to complete Phase 3 clinical trials. Moving right along to Section 2, engineering the delivery engine. So how do they actually make these things? The creation of these microscopic delivery vehicles relies on an absolutely crucial 3-step engine. Step 1 uses specialized lipid language models. Think of it kind of like ChatGPT, but instead of predicting words, it predicts chemical properties from a massive library of over 10 million lipids. Step 2 runs multi-scale simulations using quantum chemistry to predict exactly how these nanovehicles will interact once they're inside the human body. And Step 3, it validates it all in the lab with automated screening, creating a perfect closed loop of real-world data that just keeps feeding right back into the AI. Which brings us to Section 3, predicting decades of disease. Enter the Human Life Foundation models, or HLFN for short. While others are busy conquering that delivery layer we just talked about, this is a multi-million-dollar AI co-development collaboration between Insilico Medicine and US-based Human Longevity, and they are completely focused on prediction. Together, they're building the industry's first large-scale AI foundation model strictly dedicated to human health. They are effectively aiming to map out the biological destiny of human beings. Just look at the massive financial scale driving this entire ecosystem. Human Longevity brings a historic $600 million investment dedicated strictly to algorithms. Insilico Medicine brings $291 million from its recent IPO. And then you have companies like New Limit raising over $435 million more. This is an ecosystem just overflowing with the capital absolutely necessary to reprogram cellular aging. The end goal of these foundation models is, frankly, terrifying for the competition.
They're aiming to predict up to 50,000 complex human diseases decades before a patient feels a single clinical symptom. Decades! They're allocating a perfectly balanced 20% of their predictive focus equally across the 5 major killers: cancer, dementia, strokes, heart attacks, and diabetes. It's a total systemic shift from reactive treatment right into personalized lifelong prevention. Alright, on to Section 4, next steps in evolution. The immediate next steps for this biological superpower cover some truly incredible ground. And honestly, each one is a major achievement on its own. Insilico is fully decoding the complex biology of aging itself. New Limit is tackling massive hurdles, scanning cell types to finalize the reprogramming of cells for things like chronic kidney disease and rheumatoid arthritis. Then you have OpenCGT, establishing an astonishing 6 billion yuan in open-source global infrastructure collaborations. And finally, the clinical application is expanding into luxury wellness hubs like Clinique La Prairie and Angie, answering the massive demand for advanced age-defying therapies directly at the consumer level. Now, unlike the West's heavy reliance on private venture capital, this specific sector is being accelerated through direct state-level backing. The Gofeng 2 Innovation Investment Fund's entry really signals that AI nano delivery is now treated as a national strategic mission, and this state support, combined with highly profitable business models like XDelPi achieving their first annual profit in 2025, ensures these companies have the deep runway required to turn lab experiments into scalable global realities. And finally, Section 5, the future and goodbye. I want to leave you with this final, truly provocative thought. Are we just years away from a world where aging itself is totally reversible? And looking at all this massive momentum we've covered, what tech sector do you think will be dominated next? The future of human health is actively being written right now in Chinese labs, and I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Let's get a discussion going in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into the AI longevity race as fascinating as I did, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so we can continue tracking this global tech race together. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.